One of the special mitzvos of Purim is to hear every word of Megillas Esther read aloud from a kosher Megillah made of parchment. Please follow along in the text of the Megillah. The purpose of the slide presentation is to help children sit quietly so everyone can hear and enjoy the whole Megillah. This is a special narrated edition of a slide presentation. If this would be a regular reading of the Megillah, one would not be permitted to speak. Instead, you would find that the rabbi will signal when it is time to drown out Haman's name with the sound of your grogger. You would then be asked to please be very quiet once the Megillah reading has started again. You will now hear and see the story of the Megillah unfold before you in a short form. Let us begin with introducing to you the main characters of the Purim story. Who is this?
Mordechai!
Yes, I'm Mordechai, Mordechai HaYehudi, the only Jew in Shushan to openly oppose Haman without fear and trusting in Hashem.
Who is this?
Queen Esther!
Yes, I'm Queen Esther, who grew up in the house of my cousin Mordechai HaYehudi. I kept my Jewish background a secret as commanded by my cousin until the time was right.
Who is this?
King Ahasuerus!
Yes, I'm King Ahasuerus, king of the Persian Empire. I hated the Jews, originally, even more than Haman, since I thought that the Jews were going to take away my crown. Little did I know it would be my own son, who was Jewish since he was born to Queen Esther. Who is this?
Queen Vashti! Yes! I'm Queen Vashti! I'm wicked and mean. I hated the Jews and helped stop the rebuilding of the Holy Temple. I also think I'm the greatest. You'll soon see what happened to me.
Who is this?
Haman! Boo! Oh, be quiet out there. If not for me, you wouldn't have your holiday. Just for booing me, I won't tell you how wicked I am, or that I hated the Jews and wanted to kill them all. I'll let you find out yourself.
During a regular Megillah reading that may have a slideshow like this, without voice narration, you would be told, shh, please be very quiet during the reading of the Megillah. Please refrain from reading the English captions out loud. These are the 3 blessings said before the start of the Megillah. Besides answering Amen, one is not allowed to talk until after the Megillah is completely read. Now, back to our story. Vayehi b'mei Ahasuerus. It came to pass in the days of King Ahasuerus. It was after 3 years as king when Ahasuerus said, I think I'll make a big 180-day party, followed by a 7-day party in Shushan, to show off my wealth, my greatness, and get the Jews to sin to God. Yes, if I do that, their God will be angry with them. In the royal palace of Shushan, King Ahasuerus makes a great feast. At the same time, Queen Vashti makes a feast for the women. On the last day of the 7-day party, the Jews finally stayed home, since it was Shabbos and Yom Kippur as well. The king allowed himself to get drunk. While drunk, Ahasuerus calls Vashti to come and show off her beauty in front of all his guests. Tell Vashti I order her to come to me wearing nothing but the royal crown on her head. Vashti refuses to come.
I refuse to come to show off my beauty to my drunken husband and his drunken guests. Besides, God punished me for making fun of Jewish girls and making them work on Shabbos. He made me have rashes and pimples grow all over my body, making me look so ugly. There was no way I could go. Oh, by the way, just in case, I hope the photographer paid attention to my instructions. I told him to retouch up this picture so no one should see how I look. I hope this is the picture without my pimples.
The king is furious. What? How dare she refuse me? She refused me? What should I do?
Your Majesty, if you don't mind, it is I, Haman, who must speak up for you. You must kill her for not obeying After all, she didn't just do something bad to you. If she doesn't obey you, imagine what will happen in your kingdom. Everybody else will not obey. Now, if you listen to me, I think you should have her killed immediately.
Ah, you're right. Take her away. And Vashti was killed. She was executed without a fair trial. Goodbye, Vashti. Ta-ta. See you some other time. Or maybe not. Upon the advice of his young advisers, Ahasuerus holds a contest to find a new queen. Esther, the cousin of the Jewish leader Mordechai, is forced to take part. You look very kind and pretty. Ahasuerus thought to himself, but who is she? What nation and religion does she come from? Nobody seems to know. Nobody knows. And Esther won't tell. Esther becomes queen of the empire. I hereby choose you to be not only my wife, but also the queen of my entire empire. In the palace, Esther secretly eats only kosher food and keeps Shabbos. One day, Bigsan and Seresh, two of the king's officers, plan to poison King Ahasuerus. Poison the king. Poison the king. Mordechai overhears their wicked plot.
Bigsan and Seresh, don't know. As a member of Sanhedrin, in the highest Jewish court, I can speak 70 languages, including their native tongue, Tarshin. I must tell Esther.
Mordechai tells Esther. Esther warns the king, and the king writes down in his royal diary that Mordechai saved his life. Happy that Esther was a better wife than Vashti, the king decided to reward Haman. Haman becomes a very important advisor to the king.
Yes, at last.
By royal decree, everyone must bow before Haman. Everyone must bow before Haman! Everyone must bow before Haman!
Yes, I love this. Come on, bow before me.
Only Mordechai the Jew refuses to bow.
I will not bow down to a human being, especially one who wears an idol around his neck.
Haman decides to take revenge on all the Jews.
Well, Mordechai, he refuses to bow down, eh? I'll show him. Yes, I'll just go to the king, and I'll tell him a thing or two. Your Majesty, the Jews are enemies of the state,
He complains to the king.
They must be dealt with properly. I'll give you 10,000 bricks of silver to cover all expenses.
Keep the silver. You'll be doing me a favor. Here's my signet ring. Do as you see fit. The king gives Haman the power to destroy all the Jews, men, women, and children. Haman cast lots, called Pur, to help him set a date for taking his revenge on the Jewish people. The day is the 13th day of the 12th month. The month is Adar. A message is sent to all 127 countries in Ahasuerus' kingdom. Wipe out all the Jews! Wipe out all the Jews! Wipe out the Jews! Wipe out the Jews! Mordechai learns of Haman's plot. He goes to the palace, wearing sackcloth and ashes, as a sign of mourning.
Woe is to us, who were given over to die! Woe is to us, who were given over to die!
Mordechai and all the Jews fast and cry out to Hashem to save them from Haman's evil plan. Mordechai searches for a heavenly sign. He asks 3 children,
What did you learn today?
They answer,
We learn that Hashem will always protect the Jews, and the plans of their enemies will be ruined.
Mordechai gathers 22,000 children around him.
Come, children, let us learn Torah and pray for Hashem to have mercy upon us.
And so, as it was, Mordechai gathers 22,000 children around him, learning Torah with them and praying to Hashem to have mercy on his people. Mordechai sends a message to Esther. The time is now to reveal your secret.